Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Beyond the Plate with Chef Amrita Raichand and me, Rishi K, the show that literally goes beyond the plate. We talk food, but food through an entirely new dimension. We talk about healthy being not boring, junk being jewel, and of course, few gems that emanate from Amrita's lovely head. How are you doing?
Hey, Rishi, so good to be back here.
Listen, you must have been one of those French benchers in school. Ask why. Because, hey, the last episode you're quoting out of a Harvard University research paper, and this time around you're quoting from a Harvard School of Public Health paper. First front bencher, yeah?
Absolutely a front bencher, but never went to Harvard. So I guess I, draw all my energies from all these researchers because trying to make up for lost time.
The importance of a healthy eating plate. I mean, all of you who are hearing us on radio, you will hear the words. If you're watching us on video, we'll actually put out a chart. Let's talk about it now.
So this chart, which has been given out by the Harvard School of Public Health, states that a healthy eating plate comprises of 50% vegetables, some part of which includes fruit as well. 25% is whole grains, and the final 25%, which is actually the most important, is protein power.
And of course, cooking in healthy oils and
Yes.
fats, that's important. Water, which you keep emphasizing, is so important for hydration.
Yeah, because you
That's all
see,
good.
for all of this to get assimilated, you need water. You have to be hydrated. For all of this to give you the right amount of nutrition, you need to cook it in healthy fats.
Okay, let's start with veggies and fruits. What does the WHO, the World Health Organization, recommend? And if you could go category-wise and just pull out a few examples.
So the WHO states that you need to have 400 grams or 5 portions of fruits and vegetables. Now, category of vegetables are many. You need to have a rainbow in your plate. How do you create this rainbow? By picking out vegetables from different categories. You have stem vegetables like asparagus, celery. You have cruciferous, broccoli, cabbage. You have green leafy vegetables. Then you have the allium variety. You have your onions. You have your garlic. Now all of this really comprises into making a healthy plate of vegetables itself. There is no point eating all the vegetables from just one type of food, even marrow veggies, which I missed out on, pumpkin, cucumbers, all of this belong to the marrow category. It's really important to try and pick out one from each category. Moving on to fruit, again, fruit has so many varieties. You have core fruits, you have stone fruit, you have things like watermelon. There are different variety of fruits and vegetables. Now what you need to keep in mind is that you pick one from each category.
Got it. And believe it or not, anything with seeds is actually a fruit. This is not original, something that Amrita taught me.
So guess what? Eggplant is actually a fruit.
Yeah, which puts even cucumbers and pumpkin in that category.
Yes.
Of
But
course,
we're gonna talk about that in a completely different segment because
True.
it's gonna-
Okay, going by the chart, 50% vegetables and fruits, now 25% whole grains, which means there should be a quarter plate of whole grains.
Yes.
What should that be comprised of?
everything that's whole, everything that's not processed. So couple of things are very easily available, and that's what most of the people focus on. They focus on whole wheat, they focus on brown rice, but there is a plethora of whole grains out there. In fact, the government of India has declared this as the year of millets, and that is that just shows you how important these millets are. They're very sturdy, they're very easily available. There are loads of millets that are so good for us. They're full of calcium, they're full of fiber. You're talking about ragi, jawar, bajra, fox millets, little millet. There are like a zillion millets. You can go on and on about it. So basically what you need to have as whole grains is something that is not processed, which is not super refined.
So brown rice and foods made with them have a milder effect
Yeah.
on blood sugar and insulin than white bread, white rice, and other refined grains. Yeah, learn from you. And the final quarter, Amrita, which is the protein quarter. What should that quarter plate have?
So protein quarter is everything protein. We have fish, you have nuts, you have egg, you have poultry. I would suggest that avoid processed meats because that they come with your preservatives. They come with their own bit of
Which
poison.
is bacon and sausages.
Yeah, in that category. But you know what, once in a while, if you are going for a brunch somewhere and you're on a holiday, that's okay to have a little bit, but that should not be a part of your staple diet.
So a healthy plate is basically an overall balanced diet. And obviously, with balanced nutrition, your body is able to tackle a lot. Yeah.
Yes, because you see, when you focus on all these categories and you have them in the right proportion, what you're doing is you're giving your body everything that it needs, from nutrition to fiber to the energy to take you through the day. And in turn, what is it doing? It's helping you build your immunity. In case of children, this becomes even more important, because not only are you keeping them strong, you are ensuring that their performance is good. Because if they're eating right, they will perform better. So not only their body develops, their bone develops better, their brain works better, which is really important in today's day and age.
At the end of every episode, we have the Ask Amrita section where we raise your questions and Amrita kindly answers all of them. We're talking questions on food, on recipes, on diet, on going beyond the plate, even wellness through food, all of that. So 9833-943-943. That's our WhatsApp number. Easy to remember. 94.3 is our frequency. So you go 9833-943-943. Pop the question along with your name. Type it out to us, and I'll bring it up on air later on in the show. What's the recipe of the day?
Okay, so before I come to the recipe of the day, I want to tell everybody that whatever we spoke about earlier, that is information that they actually have. Okay, Google gives you that information, dietitians, nutritionists. Now, where I come into the picture is how to put all of these things together in great recipes, which are also tasty, which are also healthy, and which are easy to execute. Now, most people will say, and you will say, oh, Amrita, you've just, stated all these facts. Now, but when it comes to creating a recipe out of this and making a healthy plate in a recipe, I can't rack my brains every time. So I'm going to give you a recipe of the day for sure, but I'll also explain to you how you can use the same principles. Like, basically you need to have the broad knowledge of the fact that, okay, this is what my plate is supposed to look like. So you need to literally memorize it, okay? Once you've memorized that, what you need to focus on, what are the things that you like? Your own choice. If you don't like tofu and I'm giving you a recipe with tofu, it doesn't work for you. You like paneer, you like chicken, you like fish. You can make the same thing with what you like. You need to have pre-prepped your pantry, your fridge. If you know that this is the proportion of plate that I need to create and these are the things I like, all these ingredients need to be in my pantry and in my kitchen. So that is a broad way of approaching it. And now I'll tell you one recipe of the day. Like I said, you can use the same principle to make lunch, dinner, breakfast, and a little snack as well. So for today, it's grilled tofu. Very easy. Now, tofu, people usually don't like. I don't like it, I'll be very honest. It's very bland. So what I do is I always marinate it for a while. I put some salt, pepper, some lemon juice, maybe some ginger garlic. But if you like any other sauce, you can use the sauce of your choice. Again, what I'm saying every time is that recipes are only guidelines. I want you to make it yours, own that recipe. So you choose whatever you like, whatever condiment you like, whatever sauce you like, and you marinate that tofu with it, okay? Then you grill it on a pan with some olive oil. If you're desi, you want to do the same thing with paneer, do it with ghee, make it in ghee. So that's your grill part. Now you take out the grilled tofu on a plate. In the same pan, if you have a spiralizer, if you don't, I would request you to invest in one. It is very cheap, available online. So basically what it does is you put your zucchini or your carrot and you just make you just turn it around and you get these noodles coming out of it.
Nice.
I love calling it zoodles, and you have that, and you just in the same pan add some maybe almonds, you add little garlic, little chili flakes, and you throw in this zucchini noodles, and you just cook it for 1 or 2 minutes, not even that much. Basically you just need to make it soft. Zucchini can actually be eaten raw, but I'm giving you the feeling of eating pasta. So just cook it out a little bit, season it, add some lemon juice, throw in some cherry tomatoes if you want, some basil leaves if you want, and you have a beautiful zoodles ready. Now that's your second part of your healthy plate. Which needs to have 50% of what?
Fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely. So you have your tomatoes in the form of fruit, and you have your vegetables in the form of zucchini. All right, and then your final, what is left? We've got protein, we've got
whole grains.
Yes. So what would you like to add in that?
I'm okay with all grains actually. I'm
Yeah.
pretty cool with
So
all
just
grains.
put whatever you like.
Yeah.
Just cook out some quinoa, some brown rice. If you don't want to add grains at all, you want some complex carbs, you can just do some baby potatoes and put that on a side, and that gives you your healthy plate right in front of you.
Wonderful. Time for Ask Amrita. Thank you for all your wonderful questions on 9833943943. And continue asking questions. Anything to do with diet, food, recipes. We're all ears. Pop in the question along with your name and you're good to go. This is Priya. As the schools are reopening and the monsoon is making its way to us, my son always craves oily, peppery snacks. How can I make all the dishes he likes that will help his immune system and it's not oily? What is the substitute to a samosa?
That's a good question. Well, I will come to that, but first I'd like to address Priya by telling her that not one dish makes your immunity go strong. Again, focusing on a healthy plate, understanding the proportion of every ingredient that goes into a plate. And when I say plate, it doesn't necessarily mean a plate. It can be in one dish. So, okay, come, let's do this. Let's treat this as an experiment. You want a healthy samosa?
Yep.
Let's try creating it right now. I haven't thought of it. You just said it out of the blue. So let's try. Even I don't know how to make a healthy samosa, but let's try. Okay, so what does a healthy samosa have? Potatoes?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the filling. So let's boil some potatoes. That's fine. We'll still use potatoes, but instead of using the entire filling as potatoes, why don't we throw in some vegetables? Let's throw in some peas. Let's throw in some carrots. I think they'll go quite well. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
So we throw in some beans also. So we're adding our vegetables to it. We've got our potatoes already there. That's the filling. Samosa patti is anyway made of whole wheat atta. Yeah? Whole wheat grain. So we'll stick to that. We'll let that be. We're going to cook it in some ghee. And we are going to add some, maybe some ajwain to it. This is, I'm talking about the patti. So we make the same samosa patti. We've thrown in vegetables. We've got complex carbs. Now what happens, how do we make the samosa?
Which is...
The final samosa, how do we prepare it?
You put the peas and the aloo in the wrap. You fill it in.
Then what do you do with the wrap?
You talo it.
Yeah. So now let's not talo
You
it.
fry it in the nice juicy oil.
And which actually I must say, let's talk about this for 1 second. Frying is really not the worst thing in the world. Okay, it depends on where you're frying it. If it's outside on the street where the same oil has been used like a million times, then that's bad for you. But if you're frying something in ghee at home and using it once, it's really not bad for you. It's flash cooking, because when you fry, you cook it quicker. And then you take it out on absorbent paper and the excess oil is out in it, or the ghee. So you can actually fry it, or you can just bake it. You can bake it, then you add a little bit of, let's add some salad on the side, okay, and make it tasty. Usually samosa is had with chutney. So maybe in the chutney, in the green chutney, why don't we throw in some palak while we are making the chutney? Okay, nobody will know, children will not know, even you will not know. Okay, throw in some sesame seeds. So you make it even healthier and give that as, a side with your samosa. Haven't we turned it into a healthy meal?
Nice.
Right? And this is not
Ingenious.
something that was planned.
Ingenious. Well done. Amrita is available on YouTube. Fantastic channel. What is it, Amrita?
Amrita Raichand, Chef and Beyond. It has lots and lots of recipes. And what I like about my YouTube channel, and I say it proudly, is that I have categorized all my recipes. So you'll find playlists there. You'll find playlists on immunity building recipes, on play dates, recipes of breakfast, and even for pregnant women I have playlists. The reason I'm saying it is that very often people get confused about how to find certain recipes.
True.
So if you're looking for children's recipes, you can go to my children's section. There's Thoda or Magic, there's toddler recipes, there are play date recipes. So there are a plethora of recipes which all categorize nicely on playlists, and I spend a lot of time thinking about these names of playlists. So please check them out.
For those of you who like the audio visual medium, you can get onto Radio 1 International on YouTube. Search for Radio 1 International. This entire episode number 4 of Beyond the Plate with Chef Amrita Raichand and me, Hrishi K, is available there. And of course, if you want to see that exquisite recipe of the day, Amrita cooking in her kitchen, then that's on Instagram at 94.3 Radio 1 India and at Amrita Raichand on Instagram. And yeah, before I forget, questions are welcome for Ask Amrita, 9833 943 943. Mandatory is out of the way. I can't wait to see you next week. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me here, Rishi, and thank you, listeners, for your great feedback, and keep your questions coming, because I'm enjoying answering them. and it also helps me decide what I want to talk about in the next episode.
94.3 Radio 1.